Hello students, welcome back to online physics lesson. Today we will see average velocity and speed. Speed is a scalar physical quantity. Okay, this speed is a scalar physical quantity that refers to how fast an object is moving. Speed can be taught as the rate at which an object covers a distance. A fast-moving object has high speed and covers a relatively large distance. It means if the velocity, if the speed is high, it has large distance. In contrast, these two slowing moving objects has low speed. That means it covers a relatively small amount of distance in the same amount of time. An object with no movement at all has zero speed. Yeah, this actually if we are not moving or staying or sitting, there will not be speed. The second part is velocity. Velocity is a vector physical quantity that refers to the rate at which an object changes its position. The rate means the time. Imagine a person moving rapidly one step forward and one step back, always returning to the original starting position. While this might result in freeze of activity, it would result in a zero velocity because velocity we define the change in position. That means the change in position means the displacement. Speed depends on distance. Again, speed is a scalar physical quantity. In the case of velocity, it's a vector physical quantity. So, an object move, for example, if this object move from this position, initial position, to final position towards the east, let's say this is the final position, let's say 4 meters, then return back towards the west 4 meters, then the displacement is equal to change in position, which is equal to position of the final position minus the initial position. That means its value is 0 because the final position is towards the west and the initial position towards the east. That means its value is 0. So, since the velocity is defined as the rate at which the position changes, this motion results a zero velocity. That means the velocity become velocity is equal to, so the velocity here is equal to the displacement per time. That means if the displacement is 0 over time, which is equal to 0, that is why we say the value for the velocity is 0 because the person returns to its original position with equal distance, equal displacement. So let's see the formulas for the average speed is calculated by distance traveled by time of traveled, and for average velocity we calculate the change in position per time or displacement over time. Good. The next point, let me show you simulation example. Okay, look at the object. Okay, this object starts from this 0 position and ends to 5 mile, this position. Then we can calculate the average speed as, how to calculate the distance that the object covers. How much? Look, the end, it arrives here 5 miles over how many seconds, how many time it takes for the object. Look, the time here is counting. Okay, here it's counting. How much? Look, when it arrives here, look, 0.2 hours. Then speed is equal to, average is equal to distance traveled over time, which is equal to 5 miles over 0.2, which is equal to 25 miles per hour. In general, we can convert miles to hours, miles hour to meter per second, because its SI unit is meter per second. Okay, just for the simulation. Okay. Okay, let's see one important point: the SI unit. In the case of average velocity, here the SI unit is meter per second. The same thing for average velocity, here meter per second. So the SI unit for average speed and average velocity is the same, no difference. Okay. So let's see one example. Look, now let us consider the motion of that the physics teacher again. The physics teacher walks 4 meters to east, 4 meters towards east. Okay. Then 2 meters toward the south. Okay, this is south. Then 4 meters toward the west. This is west. And finally 2 meters north. 2 meters north. Again 4 meters east. Okay, here is 4 meters east. Now determine the average speed and the average velocity. Let us see the solution together. Okay, let us calculate for the required things. Under A, here you are required the average speed, and B, the average velocity. A, we have given time is equal to how many seconds to cover this distance. It's 24 seconds, and the distance in our case we add all the distance that the teacher walks and cover. Okay, that means 4 meters plus 2 meter plus again toward the west 4 meter plus again to up 2 meter, which is equal to 12 meter. And that means this one is the total distance. Sorry. You are required, what is required? The average speed v is equal to how much? Now solution. The average speed v without arrow is equal to the total distance traveled over the time. The total distance covered by the teacher is, we calculated here, 12 meter over the time that covered to complete the total distance is 24 seconds, which is equal to 0.5 meter per second. That is the value for the average speed. Next, let me add new B. You are required the average velocity is equal to how much? But the teacher covers 4 meter towards east, then 2 meter down or towards south, and 4 meter again towards west, then back to his or her initial position 2 meter towards up or north. You know, in short, the displacement, to calculate the displacement, we put the values of the displacement to calculate the total displacement on the coordinate system. That means always in this coordinate system, here is, for example, east, west, south, north, or here we have right, left, down, up, okay, like this. On the coordinate system, towards east, for the displacement is always we take as positive, up always positive. Towards the west, the displacement is negative, okay. Towards down, the displacement is again negative. So in our case, to calculate the total displacement, 4 meter plus, we add the whole, but we put negative or positive according to the direction. 4 meter towards where? The east. That means 4 meter plus 2 meter towards south. Towards south, the value for the displacement here minus 2. Then plus, when return back to east, west, again 4 meter towards west means it's negative 4. Okay, negative 4 plus 2 meter up or towards the north, its displacement value is positive 2 meter. Then this is equal to 0. The total displacement is 0. In general, when an object go some distance displacement and return back to its original position. Return back to its displacement is 0. So we have the total displacement is equal to 0. You are required the average velocity. The average is equal to how much? Solution. The average velocity, the average is equal to the total displacement over the time, which is equal to 0 over the time is 24 seconds, which is equal to 0. That's all about today's lesson. See you in the next lesson. Till then, bye bye.